This week we kick off our series profiling the 3 finalists vying for the Louisiana Farm Bureau's Young Farmers and Ranchers Achievement Award. The winner will be announced at the 103rd Annual Louisiana Farm Bureau Convention in New Orleans later this month.
For our first finalist, we take you to Ascension Parish, where sugarcane and family traditions run deep. Frankie and Mallory Sotile are 4th-generation farmers facing modern pressures. With innovation, resilience, and roots in the river parishes, they're growing more than a crop, they're growing a legacy.
In Donaldsonville, where rich farmland meets the encroaching edge of industry, 4th-generation farmer Frankie Sotile is holding on, not just to a crop, but a way of life.
We farm a little over 5,000 acres of sugarcane. The fertile farm ground we farm on is due to the river. One big challenge we face is industrial plants moving in. They want to set up shop, and losing the farmland, the fertile farmland, to things like that is a real challenge we face.
The Sotile name has been tied to this land and to sugarcane for over a century. Now, as industry pushes in, every acre means more.
An easy problem would be to own the land, but that's difficult and near impossible. Land just doesn't come up. When you lose land, you got to tighten your bootstraps and just become more efficient. You have to adapt.
And adapting means evolving, combining the grit of generations with tools of the future.
I've tried to modernize everything we've done out here, implementing precision ag practices. It's been a challenge implementing that. I would consider myself a little new school, and my dad is still actively out here with us, and he's a little bit more old school. It's a little difficult to convince him, but whenever the productivity is there and your yields are, showing good, it speaks for itself.
Modern tools may drive the tractors, but family still steers the operation.
It's a challenge working with your family. That's probably one of the biggest blessings and most difficult things you could ever do, is working with your dad and your grandpa and your brother, people that you spend your free time with and your work time with. Because we all know, sometimes you need to go to work to get away from the family and go home to get away from your work.
Mallory Sotile didn't grow up in farming, but she's learned it, lived it, and now brings a different perspective from outside the rows.
I try to talk to him, just be a support for him. It might seem like a huge deal that day, but next week you're gonna have forgotten about it, and those long hours are all worth it.
It's just good to get somebody with a different perspective, conversate about it, and get it off your chest. And she always has good words of advice to help me out and cheer me up.
When Frankie's still in the fields, Mallory holds things together off the farm, raising their 2 boys and keeping life balanced.
Some weekends I wish and tell him I wish he had a 9 to 5, because sometimes he misses out. But then there's times during the year, during harvest, when the boys get to come out here and ride in the tractor on the weekends. I mean, every little boy loves tractors. How many get to come out here and ride on them whenever they want, with their dad, with their grandpa, with their great-grandpa?
I like to see his passion develop and his imagination, just him driving, and it's a good feeling that he shows some interest in it.
For Frankie and Mallory, farming isn't just a job, it's an identity. It's a commitment that demands strength and pays in pride.
I'm just proud of him for his resilience. It's hard to do that in today's world, to come back and work with your family in a very strenuous, time-consuming, hot job that tests your patience on a daily basis. So just proud of his commitment to his family, really.
From long hours to harvest highs, the rewards come not just in yield, but in what's passed down.
The lessons you learn from being out here, I think that outweighs anything. No matter what situation you're in or, challenge you face, being out here on the farm and knowing how to adapt, it's invaluable.
The winner of the 2025 Young Farmers and Ranchers Achievement Award will receive a $35,000 cash prize and an all-expense-paid trip to the American Farm Bureau Convention in Anaheim, California, to compete for the National YF&R Achievement Award in January of 2026.